Romance Dawn. This singular phrase has captured my soul with such intensity. It is the title of the very first chapter of One Piece, my favorite work of fiction. Romance has two definitions, most commonly understood as the sparks of love between a couple. However, it's the second definition that applies to this phrase. Romance can also mean a quality or feeling of mystery, excitement, and remoteness from everyday life. In a sense, it means adventure. The dawn, or beginning of adventure, Romance Dawn. This is the perfect encapsulation of the core essence of One Piece, and why I love it so dearly. Some would say you get the best fights from Jujutsu Kaisen. Some would say you get the best story and themes from Fullmetal Alchemist. And some would say the best character development would go to something like Vinland Saga. While One Piece rises to be among the kings in those categories, it's not what separates Oda's 25+ year manga apart. The most defining aspect of One Piece is its unmatched world building and the call of adventure to experience said vast world. I know many would laugh at me saying this, but to me, One Piece is almost transcendental as a story. It so manifests the mystery of myth and its connection to reality that the only thing that separates the two is a thin line, a mere page. This is because underneath the absurd presentation, and it is absurd at times, the story of One Piece is the story of us, the history of humanity, a story of slaves suffering underneath the yoke of persecution, of setting out into a bold new world in pursuit of our impossible dreams, a story of trauma and broken families, of finding new friends in the least likely of places, a story of corrupt governments exploiting the people, and the righteous fury of those who would fight for freedom, to ascend above the birds, to dive beneath the depths, to see new lands unreached, to find lost cities of gold, isolated exotic empires, and people unlike our own. Harness terrifying new power, invent things only thought possible in dreams. Charting the world, mastering a skill, fulfilling a self-goal, curing disease, reuniting with loved ones, building a legacy. It's a story of a mother's love, a father's sacrifice, a brother's promise. A story of loss, tragedy, abandonment, and pain. But also a story of triumph, perseverance, strength, hope, and love. Our checkered history as the human race is so magnificently reflected in the manifold tales of One Piece, as if to capture the whole spectrum of what it means to live. Did we deserve to be born? Do we deserve to live? Were we good parents? What is the meaning of strength? How do we forgive generational pain? How can we hold on to hope? One Piece dives into the questions of the human soul. From all manner of people, young to old, man to woman, race to race, poor to rich, the story dives into the deepest, darkest depths of depravity, malice, bitterness, and unbridled destructive hatred of others and all-consuming selfishness. It also ascends to the most virtuous and delightful peaks of human goodness. The boundless love we share, the sacrifices we make, the incomparable joy of beloved fellowship, the peace of belonging and reconciliation. With somewhere around a cast of over 1,300 characters, I can guarantee you'll find at least one that resonates with your particular life story. The way One Piece captures pathos is second to none. You will cry over a boat, and a grown man dressing as a baby. Do not underestimate this story. One Piece magnifies the absolute importance of human connection. How in isolation we are prone to failure and demise. But when supported through bonds of fellowship, we can transcend the obstacles that would have crushed us on our path. The Straw Hats are a perfect representation of this idea. As Sanji once quoted saying, "Everyone has things they can and cannot do. I'll do what you can't do, and you do what I can't do." It is through cooperation with kindred souls that paves the way for dreams to become reality, just like every success story in real life. It's not just our heart which One Piece captures, but also our imagination, our myths, our stories. A restaurant floating in the middle of the ocean? A mountain where water flows in reverse. Sea monsters as big as the eye can see. Giants fighting 100-year-long duels. An Arabian-inspired country embroiled in a civil war through the machinations of a mob boss. A city of gold above the clouds. And that's just a small, small taste. Oda, the author of One Piece, has taken inspiration from cultures and stories from all around the world to flesh out a truly unique experience. A beautiful tapestry of the limits of the human imagination. And it's in that imagination that backs up the power system of One Piece. There are these special fruits called devil fruits, which grant the user some sort of ability upon consumption. It's an understatement to say that the sky's the limits with possibilities. Some can control elements. Others have their bodies transformed into a type of material. Some gain the ability to turn into animals. Others have the power manifest as concepts. For example, there's the ice fruit, which lets a man have mastery of, as you would guess, ice. There's the string fruit, which allows a man to have full control of strings in a really bunch of creative ways. But there's even weirder powers, like the hobby fruit, which allows a girl to turn people into toys. Or the wash fruit, which allows a granny to immobilize combatants like their freshly washed shirts. The list of devil fruits in One Piece is so expansive, and it would be impossible to guess the kind of stuff that you would find on said list. What's particularly cool is how we recently learned that devil fruits are made literally from the dreams of people. They are all, quote, possible futures in which humanity could have lived. What does this mean? Imagination and dreams are made manifest as power in the story all about pursuing your dreams. That's the other thing about One Piece, of which I have found no other series competing on the same level. And that is of its powerful allure to compel its audience to follow their dreams, to respond to that call of adventure. Take a listen to this iconic track called To the Grand Line. Notice how it starts off somber, as if contemplating. There's a tenseness as it builds up. The mystery begins to creep in. The tentative step forward. And then with the blast of power, it erupts into a shout of excitement, of power. And if finally taking the first step forward towards one's dream, after overcoming the previous fear. To soften. You can sense a bit of hesitancy, perhaps a looking behind. But then again, the triumph rises, an exclamation of fortitude to move forward. Chase the dreams you marveled at as a youth. Let no dragon stand in the way of you truly living, free and glad. Seek to master that craft you love, whether it be the strings of an instrument or the kicking of a ball. Travel to those distant lands, those streets of gold you read about. Science has made it even easier than ever to travel and explore this world. Achieve what others thought foolish or impossible. Whether that be curing disease or becoming a leader. Overcome the enemy that everyone fears. Overcome the beast within that makes men twisted in shades of what they were designed to be. Invent and create glorious works that inspire generations to come. Paint the next Sistine Chapel. Orchestrate beyond Beethoven. Be greater than King David. Travel beyond the skies to the stars. Live life free and abundantly. Of course, it's going to be hard. As you know from the tales of your youth, no great dream or story finishes within the first chapter. But it's always worth reading till the end. The only thing that is limiting us is the extent of our imagination and our willingness to make it reality. Through blood, sweat, tears, and most importantly, hope. Despair brings about nothing and saves no one from pain. It only prevents a better future. Hope and faith is what has pushed humanity this far. It's the only thing that will keep us going. The crowds mocked the Wright brothers for foolishly thinking that humans could ever fly. Kings and queens laughed at those who thought there were unexplored lands across the sea. With that said, disregard the opinions of those who are either too afraid or apathetic to face the dragons. Live a life of no regrets, one that you tried your all to make a difference. Why settle for mediocrity? Strive, fight, dream, hope, long for more, and live freely. We do not have to submit to the narrative of the status quo. We can be truly free. It's how our Creator designed us to be. He made this whole massive world and all the fascinating people in it. Why not see and delight in His gift to us? Let's do it together. Let's grow and strive and dream all through life and into eternity. This is why I love One Piece. It encourages one to never give up on their dream, no matter who or what stands in your way. And it reminds us to find like-minded companions to aid and receive aid on that quest. It reminds us to live freely and without regret. So come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we will find everything that we're looking for.